So yesterday I spent some time cleaning out the interior of my 2016 WRX that I got from a Copart auction. The carpet, believe it or not, is much cleaner than it was yesterday. I'm still not happy with it, but there's some other things I want to look at. If you would have seen the condition of this carpet yesterday, you'd think I'd made a big improvement. And although I didn't finish it because my secondhand cleaner started leaking, the seats actually are a bit better. The stains that were on this bolster are a lot better, so I can focus on the other side, and I think I can make the seats look pretty decent. I may end up looking for another cleaner though. But right now, I'm going to at least put in the front seats so that I won't get airbag errors, and see if the new scan tool I got will help me troubleshoot my starting issue. I picked up this one, which will allow me to read numbers, but won't allow me to reset anything. It's nice, but it is not bi-directional, a term I just recently learned. But first, I need to give myself somewhere to sit. This one goes here, and this one goes here. I'll leave this disconnected just in case I pull these back out to do more carpet work. So after cleaning the interior, it was time to get back to seeing why this thing will start and then immediately die when I have the mass airflow sensor plugged in. All right, let's test these bad boys out. It's crazy how much different this car feels since I've cleaned it. This being the newest car that I've ever worked on, I'm still getting used to all the new scan tool features. You know, some scan tool features will show you all the numbers you need, but they won't let you reset anything. So some are bi-directional and some aren't. And then there's some that are bi-directional, but they don't have the features that you're trying to use. I was navigating through all of this while I was troubleshooting this car. So I tried a few scan tools before I found one that actually could do what I needed it to do. Since the previous scan tools didn't have the special functions option, I went and got another one. But I didn't want to spend thousands of dollars, but I didn't want to go so cheap that it didn't have the options. And I think I found one that will work. I went to Harbor Freight and got this T7, Icon T7 scan tool. So let's see how it does. It's booting up. It was $3.99. But with Insider, the Insider Club, whatever the club is, I had a 20% off coupon, so got it for a bit less. I still have the test fuse plugged up. I'm going to go unplug it and make sure that I can connect and everything works before I try changing settings. There's an unpopulated fuse location in the engine bay that, when populated, puts the car into test mode. And with that in, with certain aftermarket scan tools, you can reset some of the learned values. It is connecting. It's got the right VIN. I see VA. This appears to be an Android tablet. I got to sign in to Wi-Fi and all this. All right, I hit diagnostics and now I have all the companies. So let's go to Subaru, special function, advanced function. Select area, North America, WRX 2016, correct VIN. All right, let's see what this does. All right, system selection. EGI, same thing as ECM on other units. Let's see what we got. Yes, the option here for test mode change is there, but it is not going to work without the test mode plugged in. So what I'm going to do is check out the data for the AVCS, the Subaru variable valve timing stuff. As a reminder, I did want to do this because I had a code for a camshaft position problem. And I learned that on these cars, sometimes the values can get so out of whack that the computer can't adjust them back into good values. So people have come up with a way to reset them such that it can learn the proper values with the replaced part. It looks like they are calling it something different because it's not under AVCS. Yeah, here we go. VVT initial position learning 1-2 for the exhaust and 1-2 for the intake. Yes, so those are the values. So now I'm going to put the test mode fuse back in. And since this has the test mode option, see if I can go ahead and reset these and try and start it to see what happens. Special function, test mode change. All right, let's see. Yes, it has the option. Transition to check mode, press OK. The transition to check mode has been completed. Yes, and they are all set to 0. All right, let's see if the car behaves any differently now. But I'm first gonna take out the test mode fuse. That's crazy, this already does a lot. And I paid, I don't know, $330 or $340 for it. All right, let's see if this took. Read data stream. Yeah, the values are still 0. All right, let's see if the car will start. So I do have the mass airflow sensor plugged up now. I almost don't want to try, but let's see. Nope. Well, I did some things that it needed, so now I know that it is not the camshaft position sensor causing it not to run, but we'll start it up and see what happens. Of course, with the mass airflow sensor disconnected. It's idling, and I heard a hissing sound, and I kept looking and looking and looking, not thinking it was coming from here. But I don't think a blow-off valve should be sucking air. Yeah, I'm pretty certain this thing should not be sucking in air at idle. So I'm gonna take it off and see what's happening. From my limited reading, the vacuum it sees should keep it closed at idle, because it's a blow-off valve to release excess pressure when you come off the throttle. This is a thin hose, so I don't want to damage it. What I don't know is this open or closed? And is out closed or is in closed? I started to take the blow-off valve apart to see what was going on, but I decided to look at the car first. So I gave the battery a fresh charge, took the blow-off valve out of the loop to see if it behaves any differently. It was definitely sucking in air through here, which it shouldn't have been, which is after the mass airflow sensor. And that will make it act like it's getting air that is not being picked up by the sensor. The sensor's plugged up. I'm gonna start it and see if it behaves any differently. I'm still baffled because the blow-off valve is closed under vacuum. So I've blocked this off. It's not perfect. So there should be no air going in through here at idle. There are no electrical connections, so this hasn't and shouldn't trigger any electrical faults. But it sounds different. It sounds better, and it sounds like I'm getting close. The fact that it idles so well when air is getting in here makes me think it's getting spark and fuel. I mean, it wouldn't idle smooth without it. But when I block this off with this plugged or unplugged, it dies. So is it not getting air through the normal paths? I don't know why it wouldn't. But I soon would figure out why. Y'all are never gonna believe what I did. I troubleshot the intake side, tracing everything, and I was like, wait a minute. When the blow-off valve is connected, I get unmetered air into the engine. I traced every line, every hose, and I said, well, this is the last place to check. Let me show you what I found. Someone forgot to remove one of the plugs from the turbo. When you think about it, the turbo is really the only new thing on the car. So I'm going to take that out and try and start this bad boy. All right, I hope I removed the other side as well. So stupid. I can't believe I did that. Make sure. Okay, yeah, that seal is still good. Can't believe this. I am going to reconnect the blow-off valve to see if it still sucks in air. Maybe I should run it without that first. But anyway, I want to see if it works. Dadgummit, should have known. But that's how you learn how to troubleshoot stuff. Troubleshooting your own carelessness. The only issue is, I don't know if that caused any damage. But we'll see if she cranks right up. And based on my old footage, I may have left the plug on the charge pipe side as well. It works! So originally I replaced the turbo because I thought the turbo seals might be causing the smoke. We'll see if this smoke dissipates, but if it doesn't, I will continue the troubleshooting. I think that is a likely scenario. And I may be installing the Perrin, I think it's called a sump restrictor. But yeah, nice smooth idle and no suction and no change. Mass airflow sensor is plugged up. The engine actually sounds good. Let's see if this smoke will dissipate. We'll see. I'm gonna go get a snack. I'm still feeling like a nitwit, but if I think back, I know what I was thinking. Take these off at the very last minute. You don't want any debris or dirt getting in there. And none got in, but no air could get in either. On to the next thing. If you would like to follow along as I turn this WRX into a good daily driver, hit subscribe. If you would like to see the things I've done to it to this point, check out the playlist. Thanks for watching. Take care.